How do you feed your sourdough starter the perfect ratio so she's ready to bake when you are? If you're like me and you haven't thought about basic math since grade school, this video is for you. Learn to make everything you see here on my channel with the perfect sourdough starter and get to know her a little bit better so you don't have any explosions like this one. Okay guys, let's get right into it. I'm gonna go old school and write this down so you can visually see what I'm talking about. Here's your foolproof and easy sourdough starter cheat sheet for beginners. The first thing to remember is that this doesn't have to be exact. If you want to use grams like I write here, that's fine. Cups are fine. A billion years ago, around the time my starter was first created, nobody was using a kitchen scale. What we're going for here are some basic ratios so that you can bake when you want to and your starter will be ready for you. In the left column, we'll write our ratio. Then we're going to look at how long it's going to take to rise for that ratio and the example of the feed. So for the first ratio, 1 to 1 to 1. What does this mean? To feed your starter 1 to 1 to 1, you have 1 part discard, 1 part flour, and 1 part filtered water. Especially if you're starting out just building a starter, you never want to feed it anything more than 1 to 1 to 1 for the first 2 weeks at least. With this ratio, it's going to take about 4 to 6 hours in your kitchen for it to double or become active and ready to bake with. Now, this can be scaled up or down to meet your needs, but an example would be 20 grams discard, 20 grams flour, and 20 grams of water. Now for a heavier feed of 1 to 2 to 2, that's going to take more about 5 to 7 hours in your kitchen to become active. Here's another example, just using 20 grams, but again, you can scale this up or down. Now getting into these heavier or larger feeds, this is going to be for people that have a cooler kitchen or maybe want to wait quite a while before they're ready to bake. This can also be really helpful if your starter is unhealthy, showing signs of acidity, and you're looking to get it healthy again. This would also be important for somebody wanting to scale up their starter so they have more of it to bake with. You can see where I'm going here, so let's look at a 1 to 1 to 1 feed. Okay, before you come for me for my sourdough starter's jar, as long as you keep it in the fridge in between feedings, don't see any signs of pink or mold, you're fine. I do have a show on how often I clean my jar if you want to check that out. So again, you can scale this up or down. I bake a lot, so I have a lot of starter. But even for a really tiny sourdough starter, you would do the same. I'm just doing equal parts here. If you're interested in the tools I use, I'll link them below. Okay, back to the cheat sheet. As you scale up the feeds, the rise time is obviously going to take a little bit longer. So if your kitchen is warm, you're going to be looking on the lower end for these rise time ratios. Now, none of this can be exact because everybody's kitchen temperature is different, but anywhere from 4 to 6 hours is a good rule of thumb. Generally, we can measure this at anywhere from 72 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, if your kitchen is on the cooler side, you're looking at anywhere from 6 to 8 hours and beyond. Usually, this is going to fall anywhere from the 65 to 68 degrees Fahrenheit range. Now again, this is just a general guide, but after some practice feeding and getting to know your starter, you're going to find the ratio and the rise time that works for you. Okay, let's look at a starter that is almost at its peak. If you look closely, you'll see that there's a little bit of gluten left. It's a little stringy, like the yeast have a little bit left to eat. At around 72 degrees, this one needs about another hour or so. Now, as a chef, I cannot stress this enough. It does not need to be perfect. Cups are fine. Grams are fine. But sourdough is not as rigid as normal baking. Sourdough is flexible, and after some practice, you'll get to know yours and have it working for you, not the other way around. All that being said, do comment your questions below if I haven't answered them. Now, a disclaimer, especially at a warm temperature, don't keep the lid of your starter screwed on tight like this one. It could literally explode and break your jar. Now, of course, I did this for entertainment purposes, but you see what I mean. Unless she's hungry and living in the fridge, you're never going to want to let the pressure build up like that. This one almost exploded, and this one, because once the yeast have eaten, they release a gas, and that pressure needs somewhere to go. If you're interested in either of these sourdough starters, check out these videos and subscribe for more. See you in the next one.